So would you say that our last elections were rigged, the ones before 2024?
I believe our elections started being rigged from 2019. I think even in 2019 they were rigged. Yeah, even in 2024. Why are some people there at the top not being fired when they harass Gomolemo Motswaledi? They harass them. I won't mention their names, but we know them. Why Basakubi? One can even suspect or they have everything to do with the rigging of elections because in Masisi happened but those positions running the show. Masisi abatla win. Now Bana Lebok and Baba. They screwed up. They screwed up with a lot of cases, the 100 billion cases, 100 billion Pula case, the butterfly case. It was the same people. They know they hold the biggest secret, and that could be the rigging of elections. Yeah. So that's the unfortunate part.
Welcome to Moving Humanity Forward podcast. My name is Cathy Malejane, and we host conversations with trendsetters, and we like to bring interesting issues to the fore. Today, we're doing exactly that with a former member of parliament and somebody who is currently still active in politics, currently member of Botswana Congress Party. I have with us today Re Sedirwa Kgoroba. A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Moving Humanity Forward podcast.
Yeah, good afternoon, Cathy. My pleasure.
I think I actually asked you a question that I'm going to start off with now, but perhaps let me rewind it and just get to understand where your love for politics came from. Why did you get into politics?
In the early 90s, let me first say my passion is football.
Okay.
Yeah. If I wasn't born in this part of the world, I would still be hooked up in football, management, coaching, whatever, because that is my real passion. So from the age 13, 14, I had a dream.
Okay.
I had a dream to play at the World Cup.
Okay.
By the time I was selected to play for the national team, Botswana was not an affiliate of FIFA or CAF.
Oh.
So which means my dreams fell apart.
Yeah.
So that's why I retired early from football. But after that dream, then there came a dream that at least in my lifetime I see my country participate at the World Cup.
Yeah.
And I got involved in developing young players in Mogoditshane. I had a development program for young players. As I was going on, and I realized that there was a problem with football administration.
Yeah.
So I decided I should abandon coaching or development and go and fix things from the top. I considered going for the BFA CEO, and then upon talking to other people, advice was that no, go for the BFA presidency, because there you'll have more leverage to fix the things that you want to fix.
Yeah.
But after considering that, I realized that no, the power laid with the politician. So I must go into politics to go and fix that. So I went into politics with the sole focus of going into politics, becoming a minister, specifically a minister of sports. I wanted that because I felt from that position I would be able to fix the things that I wanted fixed, and I would be able to lay down the foundation for my country to go and participate at the World Cup. So that has always been my dream, but it's a dream that has failed, but has not failed. The dream is still alive.
I was about to say, for as long as you're still alive, the dream can still be resuscitated.
It has been transferred elsewhere.
Okay.
I failed as a player. I don't think I'll ever get to that position of Minister of Sports to do what I wanted to do. So I have, my granddaughter is 7 years old now, and women football is coming up very strong. So I'm focused on developing my granddaughter because she's got a very athletic body. So I'm working on her. We've started. So my dream now is that by 2036, she'll be about 16, 17, somewhere there, or 17, 18. So my dream now is that by 2036, my granddaughter should participate at the 2036 World Cup.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the new dream. That's what is now driving
That's the new
you.
dream, yeah.
So I had asked you earlier whether you were ever a member of the Botswana Democratic Party, but my understanding is that because your late dad was into politics and he was a member of the Botswana Democratic Party, I want to believe that the natural assumption is always that, you follow in the footsteps of your father. Talk to me a little bit about that and perhaps also the influence that he had on you and your career.
I've had Dumelang Saleshandu Abua Horen. His father never wanted him to go into politics. My father never wanted me to go into politics. Actually, my father never wanted to go into politics himself. Because for my father one of the reasons, though not maybe the only reason, for my father to migrate to Botswana from South Africa, my father is born and bred in Rustenburg. So he was at that time the Secretary General for the ANC in the Rustenburg region. And one of the reasons he migrated was because he was about to be arrested. My father could have probably been killed, or he would be part of that Robben Island crew. But so he ran away this side because Maburu never steba. And after coming here, my father spent 7 years outside South Africa because he was banned. He couldn't cross the border. I remember growing up, every time I visited my grandparents, my father would drop us at the border and come back, and my grandfather would pick us from there. So that's why he hated politics. But something he never told me, but I suspect he was betrayed. And maybe that's why he hated it. But remember that my father didn't contest the first time. Masiri appointed him specially elected member of parliament.
Okay.
So it was an offer he couldn't refuse. So that's how he came into politics. Was he not maybe given the specially elected MP thing? I doubt my father would have joined politics. So he didn't want me to go into politics, but he was a Democrat. He couldn't also disbar me from participating in politics. Yeah.
So nakwa ha o tla simolla go tsena mo politiking, what was the initial response?
Well, he was okay with it because ke simolotse go tsena mo politicking around 2008.
Okay.
And my father passed away in 2009. So he didn't live long after I joined politics. And I wouldn't say by the time he died, I was in politics because I tried to contest under the BDP in 2008, but I was vetted out. So I sat back and wasn't really involved in politics. I just took a chance to be fair. I think I was appropriately vetted out.
Why appropriately vetted?
Well, after post that, after now fully engaging into politics, I realized that I didn't belong to any BDP structure. I hadn't attended any BDP events. I just had a membership card and I threw in my head to contest. So in politics, you have to be within the structures, participating, which I wasn't. Yeah.
So you were a member of the Botswana Democratic Party?
Well, by having a membership card, but nothing else.
For how long?
Well, when my dad became minister in 94, then I went and took the card. I got it now. He was contesting in 99, so I had to vote for my father, go to primary and wherever. So I went and got the card. Yeah.
So from 99 till about what year?
94.
94.
From 94 when he went in, yeah.
From 94
Yeah.
up to when?
Up to 2010 when now the Gomolemo Motswaledi BMD was formed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when the BDP fractured and BMD was formed, Otsamaile le bona.
Tsamaile le Gomolemo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what then made you move from the BMD via AP and now to where you are?
Remember in 2017, 16-17, there was a war within the BMD.
Yes, there was
between Sydney Pilani led BMD
Yes.
and Dabahaulat led BMD.
Yes. And there were big fight. I think Bobonong was
The
waiting to
Bobonong,
happen.
yeah. So after Bobonong, we were two factions to call it. So we expected mediation from the UDC, Duma Boko to be precise. And our request then was that the UDC being which we affiliated with should intervene and should arrange that we have a Congress rerun.
Yes.
But instead of that, Boko decided that we must go back and share power with the Pilani faction. And he said to him, look, we fought in Bobonong, people were hurt. And
there was literally violence
there was
at this
violence
Congress.
there.
I
So
recall that.
how can we go back? Let's just go back to another Congress where people will vote. And Lona Lili UDC, you must administer that Congress.
Yes, to ensure that it's a peaceful one.
Yeah, and
I recall those arguments coming through, and a lot of people expressed disappointment to say because we're affiliated under the UDC, we had expected some sort of, I don't know if I want to say overseeing or regulation from the UDC, you know, and at the time Duma Boko was president, if I recall, His Excellency currently, of the UDC. So that was the faction coming through that then formed the AP.
Yes. So when he said go back and share power, we knew we couldn't share power.
Yeah.
But we could also see Boko was now leaning towards Pilani, because at that time Pilani was loaded with money. That's where my fallout Leboko began.
Okay.
Yeah, there are other events that took place, but that's where my fallout with him began.
So you have sort of a personal gripe against him, or this is purely political, and he betrayed you.
He betrayed us.
Yeah.
The most painful thing is he didn't only betray us, he betrayed Gomolemo Motswaledi, a dead man, a man who died for the UDC and the BMD, a man who was killed by those who killed him because of the BMD and the UDC, and he betrayed him.
You're using these words, Kgoroba, but the finding, the report, the commission, what evidence do you have that what you're saying is factual? Because I mean, we've heard reports and studies and commission, and none of them came and said the words that you're saying. What facts do you have? How do you back up these allegations you're saying?
You know, Cathy, there have been incidents where people babona motho a bolawa tlhabiwa ka thipa, and the culprit ebe ya caught. About winner case got discharged and acquitted. So it's not everything that every death that you need evidence for. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
I was the first senior UDC member to arrive at the accident senior Gomolemo Motswaledi.
Okay.
Mapodisi Bari, after the car rolled, it rolled and you know. ba re Motswaledi una a wetse ka ha side in the passenger side. Motswaledi una, that car you could not drive was at your seat belt. How does he fall on the passenger side at the seat belt? Number one. Number two, ba re ba mo ntshitse on the passenger door. And I still have those pictures even today. But on the driver's side, ha hodimo, there's a splash of blood going towards the passenger side. You know, madi ha tswa mo nkong yana, ha tswa ha nkong, line ya teng e nna kima, ha ya kwa e nna tshesane. That was the case. So, monna o lo dule ka ko passengereng, ho hema madi ka nko jang on the driver's side. So it doesn't add up. One, everybody wona tsamaya le wena Cathy Motswaledi ana go pega mo koloing. So santana ora bofa le banta. He was religious more seatbelt. Yeah. So there was no way that car in a car mo thatsentse le banta e be ya go mo latlhela on the last part. Koloi ga emeno ga ile mo go drive wa. Koloi ya ga Motswaledi e ne ile mo go park. Koloi ga ka ke emeno ga ibe ke re ikisa go park, it can't.
You saw the gear in
the park. I have the pictures. So that evidence tells gore Motswaledi o bolailwe. The evidence that we cannot get is o bolailwe ke bo mang jang. But that evidence alone is enough to tell us what Motswaledi was killed. So, and he died for the UDC, he died for the BMD. So, haboko ya anong a ho betraya BMD ya ga Motswaledi o swetseng UDC. Ibile, for Boko to be president at UDC, it was Gomolemo Motswaledi. People don't know. If it was not for Motswaledi, president, because there were three choices. It was Gomolemo, it was Dumela Nsalishan, it was Duma Boko. Gomolemo deliberately connived BNF for Inelo Boko. There's this book here. I've written this book. How Motswaledi manipulated Boko and Netautona ya UDC. And it was temporary. Motswaledi's plan was that, 2015, how you are congressing your UDC, which never happened even up to today, he was going to challenge Boko. So Motswaledi knew Dumelang, the BCP was very strong there. Yes. It was the strongest opposition party. It was. So Motswaledi's strategy was that, haraka congressing Dumelang wa horebetsa. So hobotoka ke tsenye Boko re hetse le Dumelang. By the time re tsena go 2015, Motswaledi had endeared himself to the BNF. Hane Motswaledi nako ena tlhokala emetse ditlhopho ko BNF na go ja Boko. So Motswaledi now had the BMD, the BNF, and the People's Party on his side. So he knew by 2015 he would be ready to challenge Dumelang at the Congress. So that was his plan. Unfortunately, he died.
I want to get into more detail into what you're saying, but for now, let me invite you to imagine a community where every person, from teachers, students, and coaches to parents, as well as church members, know how to respond when someone's heart stops. At Healthcare Systems Solutions, or HSS, we're making that vision a reality, and we're doing that through effective community bystander, that is CPR training programs, and cardiac emergency response plans, CERP, for schools, workplaces, churches, and sports facilities. We empower everyday heroes to step in and save lives. Together, we're creating a powerful chain of survival beyond hospitals as well as clinics. Learn how you can help make your community safe from out-of-hospital medical emergencies. Check the website out. It's www.healthcaresystemsolutions.co.bw. We'll be right back.
We are a healthcare program consultancy company with a deep understanding of the unique challenges facing healthcare systems in low and middle-income countries across sub-Saharan Africa. Our mission is quite simple. We identify critical gaps in healthcare delivery and we design practical and sustainable programs to solve them. And it all boils down to our expertise and our hands-on experience in the global health space. And I deep believe that a healthcare system isn't just about clinics, hospitals, or governments. It includes everyone, from corporate organizations, business entities, community organizations, schools, families, and individuals. That is why our work spans from supporting national health departments or ministries of health to empowering communities with the tools and the knowledge they need to save lives and improve healthcare outcomes. Whether it's training healthcare providers to community members or strengthening emergency response systems and developing life-saving programs, we build sustainable and impactful solutions. We are healthcare system solutions.
Welcome back. This is Moving Humanity Forward podcast. So much we want to say today, so let's get straight back into it. Our current president, His Excellency Duma Boko, betrayed the BMD as well as Motswaledi in that time when he didn't step in. I recall him saying, you know what, go and do a power sharing initiative. So I want to understand in what way did he betray the BMD? In what way did His Excellency Duma Boko betray the BMD or even Motswaledi? What would you have wanted him to do, and how was this a betrayal? Was he not just saying, look, you have autonomy as a party, go and do what you need to do?
Yes, Kana BMD was an affiliate of the UDC.
Yes.
So when you have two factions that BMD, which one are you taking into the UDC? Okay.
Did he take any into the UDC?
He did take Yahapilan.
Ke
Well, Agararo we said, I get. What Boko should have said, two things. He should have either said, okay, really UDC, we are going to administer a Congress rerun. Or, BMD UDC. No, he didn't do that. Because, okay, Rona, we are going to form the AP. He welcomed Pilani inside the UDC.
But that's because you now quit the BMD. Kerare, do you not understanding the reasoning where he's coming from to say you have autonomy as a party, so do what you gotta do and you let me know. And then, then AP was formed and AP BMD, and then he worked with who was remaining. Maybe explain why that's a betrayal in that context.
It's a betrayal in the sense that he knew when he said, go and share power, he knew we can't. He knew we can't work together. Yes. So it was a strategic way of dismissing us and getting rid of us.
But why are you not really, sort of addressing the issue of, but if you have autonomy as a party, then I shouldn't really be able to touch into your internal dealings. I want to believe that Congress are internal party workings.
No, but ha township roller say in le mathata. The Botswana Football Association, which the township rollers affiliates to, can intervene to resolve the problems. Because rollers participate in the Botswana Football League, it has to go through the BFA. Let's say rollers was to be split into two. BFA is no.
I hear you, and I like that you're using football terminologies and simple.
So BFA has to choose it's a pilana kana it's a haolat. I get township roller stepedi, so ha di tla di le pedi di batla go affiliate le BFA. BFA is now forced go bona gore problem e ha kae BFA to resolve the problem so that rollers e khone go affiliate mo BFA.
I hear you. And I get that point of view. There's that aspect, yes, but there's also the aspect of autonomy. I get. So I want to believe there is a rationale to it to say if this is the case, the BMD did not even attempt to have that power sharing agreement, which he had tried to say, you have autonomy, do what you need to do as a party, but instead the AP was formed out of that. The BMD then split.
Yeah, in any political organization is run by a constitution. And a constitution dictates that leadership of that organization must be elected through a Congress.
Yes.
So there was no Congress.
Yes.
So how do you, if only UDC, only another democratic establishment, how do you now want to accept? By the way, after we formed AAP,
Yes.
Pilano went and did another Congress to legitimize his BMD. To legitimize his BMD.
The bottom line here is, at that point, Botswana Movement for Democracy, the faction that then went to form AP was no longer part of BMD.
Yeah.
So I want to believe that, like you're saying, if His Excellency at the time was saying, listen, you're a party, you have autonomy, you know best what needs to happen in your party, that then he would just, okay, continue. You're doing, I just wanted you to say, okay, this is also a point of view that you can see the rationale behind where that would be coming from.
Cathy. Cathy.
Yeah.
Dilo tse dingwe are not in black and white.
Yeah.
Ke tsa gore mo dingwageng tse o leng mo go tsone ga e le gore ga ise o nyalwe mme o kile a disappointiwa ke mosimane ke tsaya mosimane ga a simolola go disappointa ga gongwe ga a tshwanela go bolelela gore a ke sa tlhoke go batla wa bona hela ka ditiro gore motho mo tseleng wa tsamaya kana motho o tsamaile. So dilo tse dingwe mo politiking le tsone they are not in black and white. We knew gore Boko is holding meetings le Pilane, he's having dinners le Pilane. We knew all these things, so we knew gore Pilane was his favorite because, like I say, kana Boko rata madi. So se sengwe se batho ba sa se itseng gore Boko rata madi because o batla he loves an affluent lifestyle, and that time Nasna Madi. That was before Moti came in with the millions. So Pilano na atla tshotse madi. And that is why he favored Pilano over and above us. Because Pilano na tshotse madi. After that, ke ga bua gore Pilane ke monna wa modimo. Monna wa modimo a tswa gore lwantsha. Everybody, the evidence is there. Pilane ke ene na alo. We were not violent. The violence was coming from Pilane because on a beile dinja le ma security go gating go gore di lwantshe o tsena. Maloba BDP ne ile Congress en komau. People ka ba bua gore go tletse di tourists, gore people who are not delegates to the Congress. Now, how will Congress? Even tourists are allowed. Everybody is allowed. Go Congress en ya ga Pilane. Even nobody, not even the tourists could go in. Nobody. It was just his rented delegates and nothing else. So the writing was on the wall for us. Boko Haram batla Pilane. And indeed it happened that way. Because after that, he welcomed Pilane abua gore ke monna wa modimo. How o simolola o bitsa motho o tswa gore lwantsha monna wa modimo nna re itse gore motho ga se monna wa modimo. It's telling us gore ga o re batle.
Let's come back to the issue of the betrayal. Why do you call that a betrayal? That action that, if according to what you're saying, he then sided with, why was that a betrayal for him to side with that faction that came out of the BMD?
Kana Pilano o goroga ka towards the end of 2015, rona re tswa go 2011 re bereka le Boko loyally to him. Rona re le BMD re tla re bereka le Boko, re bereka le BNF, re bereka le whoever was in the UDC. So re na le 5 years re le mmogo, re sokola mmogo, re wa re tsoga mmogo. And then somebody just comes. It's like, you know, a new girlfriend comes and then I dump my wife. You know. So that was betrayal. Yeah.
So that's what you're saying, Gore, the fact that he sided with people that were new, that was betrayal.
It was betrayal because Boko also, it was his wish for the BMD to be. It was his wish.
Okay, Murialo, what evidence? You must be speaking evidence, Kgoroba. You can't make allegations. Those are could back up.
You can't back everything up, but you know the sequence of events will verify your allegations. Like his decision. It was a sign that this man doesn't want BMD because underground there were rumors that he feels threatened from Ndaba. You know, people were already spreading rumors or Ndaba wants to challenge him for the UDC presidency. And at that time, Ndaba was the people's favorite. So he wanted to deal with that threat. Something that he later did to Dumela. Remember, former AP, BCP came in, you know. 2021, 2022, batla khaogana le BCP. That rumor surfaced again, or Dumela ngo batla go motsela bo president ba UDC. So he's always been insecure. Hadira ndaba hela ya lo kana BMD jal. He went on and did it again to the BCP.
But if you're saying he did that to Honorable Ndaba, then how is it they managed to mend ways and patch up and be where they are now?
That's a big surprise. But you know, the 2024 elections had the backing of white monopoly capital. Julius Malema Rata this word of white monopoly capital. The white monopoly capital was behind the UDC.
Mo Botswana ga o bua ka white monopoly capital wa bo raeng ke re ke tsala gore ke tlhaloganya context.
Some multinational.
Okay.
Yeah, some multinational. So the multinational was not going to support the UDC in Boko hela. They wanted Ndaba in. They wanted that stability. So my suspicion is that Ndaba was approached by the white monopoly capital. We want to support the UDC, but we cannot give power to Boko Osio. We want that balance so that when was stabilize financing and financial management of the country's resources and income. And the AP was broke at that time. So if a big multinational like that one comes and tells you, oh, no, we are going to pump money into your campaign, how do you refuse? How do you refuse? Okay. But the other logic, if you listen to Helen Zille of South Africa, well, why the DA will not get out of the GNU. Kana, you know, she says, Kana harakazwa. Yano mahudua wasala sinyalo hit. So South Africa is better off here. Really moting, horrenda retibe, harakatibante, rakalimelante. So if Ndaba was not there, Nkebele disaster.
I want to get to that because go na le video we dirileng re Kgoroba e leng gore ke tsela gore link ya teng re tla e tsenya le rona mo go tlase ga puisanyo ya rona. In fact, before re tsena go yone, you know, there's just talk about how, and even le ga o bua le wena, you can see gore It's sort of as if you feel some type of way towards our current president, His Excellency Duma Boko. Can you speak to that?
No.
You know,
People have misinterpreted that video gore ka re Boko ke legodu.
Er.
And I didn't say that. Ke rile party ya magodu.
Eh.
Ha ka re Boko.
Eh.
Well, let's correct that. But why ke re ke magodu? You know, every president o na le mo go tweng kitchen cabinet.
Kitchen cabinet thinking.
Look, I've got my guys that I've grown up with.
Okay, so basically your people, your confidants.
My confidants.
Yes.
So, for instance, Ramukhai had a kitchen cabinet. Yabo Richard Manatoko, John Mula, Lawrence Lekalake. Dignified men.
Yes.
Men of integrity. That was his kitchen cabinet. We know the guys surrounding Boko Hanano. We know those who could be called kitchen cabinet. Kemahodu. Ba iti umotropom. Ba iti wo Leo. Kemahodu. Kore long before you decide to push on entry to Kemahodu.
Kgoroba, again, if you're going to make allegations, you need the backup of what you're saying. Are you going to name names?
No. I can't name names because but to barele mo politiki. Gompieno ana re itse gore dumelang sa leshando. Batho ba mo surroundileng ke bo maraitse.
Kitchen cabinet.
Ra itse gore Mphobalopi o surroundile ke bo mang. And we know the characters because re godile le bone. And we know those who are surrounding Boko Hanan. And Habamo surround, to be fair to him, Habamo surround Jano ele tauto. Nya, bona bato kagalale. To be fair to him, bato kagale. But kima hold. Ngaban. Bottom line. Hey.
You mean petty theft? You mean white collar crime? You mean
white collar crime? Lohodu gana whether you blue collar gana ke white collar. Lohodu. Hey.
But again, these are allegations you're making. There's no evidence, but you're saying those who know. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. A lot of people in this town know or batho ba le ke magodu ba. Hey.
How tshabe gore o bua yalo?
Akere ga bua maina a bona. Oh, ga ile gore Cathy ke mongwe a bona ba tla go nna re wa re magodi ke motho re ke buile leina la go kae gore a re le godu. O tla ba mprovela gore ke le godu. Me bone itlo gore ga ba go ba nteditseng teng ba tla ba itse re ke ra bona ke magodu. Gape ba itse le bona gore ke magodu.
So that's now going to the video. 2008 to 2018, this is former President Khama.
Yeah. Yeah, na kgerisa tota. Yeah, his regime ne kgerisa.
And you then talk about, but were you not, at least close to power or able to, speak to decision making in that point in time?
You see, people mistake being a member of parliament, especially of an opposition party, to being in power. I'll give you an example. When I was in parliament,
and this was 2014.
2014 to 2019. I came up with a private members bill for the disabled. Only Cathy disabled. You won't be here. The government must give you some income. Because how can some income subsidizer. So that bill was about that. And that bill fell under the local government. Local government local government it falls under presidential affairs. It falls about finance. They ran me in circles for 2 years. A simple private members bill for the disabled. Minister just playing monkey games. Why should a minister approve a private member's bill? But they were just driving me in circles until I got tired and gave up. And when I gave up, I stood up in parliament, and I want to say this again. Those ministers, Banakuyu, Baba disabled, severely disabled. I want them to feel that pain. Ibile a sa tlhole di minister gompieno ke batla gore go ba diragala gompieno ba tle ba utlwe gore se ba se dirileng ne se le bosula jang. Yeah. So if you are an opposition member of parliament, you got no power under the constitution of Botswana. So, and these are some of the flaws with our parliament. Our parliament is toothless, high power. Maloba PAC people were impressed with the deliberations of PAC. But that's as far as they've got no authority to take any action.
Yeah.
So, you expose a hell that's much on a and all journalists they expose. But they're toothless. So that's the sad part about it.
So what you're basically saying is you really had no hand in any sort of decisions or anything that was done, and that was 2008 to 2018.
No. Well, now 2014.
When you were 2014 to 2019, I get.
Yeah.
So now I actually want to go back to that video, and then you mentioned from there 2018 to 2024 we had his the former president Masisi, and you said
yeah.
Why those, and those words, you and I spoke about this, and you were saying, but the words that you used, why it's all we are a conservative nation, how is that not something that you see Botswana won't even receive the message that you are trying to put out because of that?
When I send out a message, I'm not forcing anybody to take it. That's their choice. Well and good. So there are always those who will and those who want. So I'm not going to sugarcoat mahoko because that we have two choices in mature democracies. A senator or a member of parliament or a minister or even a president. You're stupid.
But do you think our democracy is mature?
Who's going to mature it for us if we don't mature it for ourselves? I'm maturing it.
You're maturing it by using these words.
Yes. A fool is a fool. Hey.
So, King Uri, our former president in Elisamatla, what are the things that back you up to say that?
That's 3 weeks ago. For example, there is a very popular candidate of your party. How do you do that?
You're referring to the good hope.
Yeah. It's just one example. Hey, second example. I was in Molepole 2 weeks ago. Yes. On the eve of elections, Masisi and he knew even today, 2019 campaign. Also, 5 years later, and he even is not ashamed, or he should go publicly. That's only a fool can do that. I don't know what other ways can you use, but so what kind of a leader does that?
Moving on to the next one, this video molomong kwa rapelang teng a botse modimo gore kante sebe segolo se re se dirileng ke eng, right? Because the leadership that we have here it leaves a lot to be desired. And then you spoke about how our current leadership, I think the words you used were that ba maaka and ke magodu. Ke tsela gore you've already clarified why you're using the words magodu. Yaanong ya maaka e tswa kae?
Duma Boko also raised our tertiary students 2.5 ka November, ipelegeng 2.5 ka November, minimum wage 4,000 ka November. Rehan, none of that is delivered. That's a lie. Imaka.
How no saitse or honali extenuating circumstances that make you unable to deliver on promises, does that not change the situation?
Extenuating circumstances. So how you don't make promises until there could be extenuating circumstances. There are two things. It's either omaka kana ke sematla. Two. Sematla ke ke sone se ka reng go kile go hiwa example ya mosadi mogolo a hilwe checkbook a signa di check kantele di check di a bounce ko bankeng ba tla ba mmora ba check ke e buile ora yang re check e buile but gora ga gona madi ko account. And then you know what she said? She said madi a ka hela yang checkbook e se hele. You see ignorance. So as a leader you cannot make promises. Let me give you an example. I think the BCP was very smart. What they promised, they said by 2029. I can never hore. Bafte balebele diemo ha gona le tse di batlang go baakangwa ba di baakanye until 20. They have 4 years to 2029 or 5 years gore ba diragatse di promise tsa bona. Ga ba re ka November. But because ga na boammaruri, he decided to go ka November, and he knew. It's not like he didn't know.
What you need to back some of these allegations up.
Look. The financial situations, it's public. Why? Everybody knew. Everybody knew. Because that information is in the public domain.
But let me ask you this, and I wonder, is perhaps the thinking that maybe the money has been misplaced, maybe. I mean, I'll just give you an example. The billions that were raised during the COVID-19, there was a fund that was of money that was raised, right? And we never actually got to understand. I want to believe maybe the thinking was, maybe that money has been placed somewhere. If we locate that money, then we'll be able to do all these things.
Located then, we'll deliver. We are 7, 8, 9. We are almost 8 months now, UDC use. So they should have located that money in 8 months.
That's why the forensic audit is about to have. This is a plan that's been put into motion. If you look at it, there is a rationale behind it. There's a logic that, a path that is being forged here.
It's past 12. I think at 12 can alemadi at any more account. But I cannot promise anybody. Kitata go duela, kitata go nela 500 kantele before my diaten. It's only when this money comes in that I can promise. So, okontle, how we to go le moteng. How sure and you make those promises. What kind of a person are you? What kind of a person are you?
We're going to continue this conversation. This is Moving Humanity Forward podcast. You can find us by typing those exact words on YouTube, on LinkedIn, as well as on TikTok. On Facebook, you find us by typing MHF podcast. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Lone, a wellness administrator at Key Wellness. Now let's do 5 questions in 60 seconds. I coordinate everything behind the curtains, from wellness days to therapist support. Ha go suta, know that I'm likely behind it. It's the details, the venues, the flow, but the goal is only one, to ensure that our customers have a safe environment. I think that would be structure. Wellness work needs structure, so I ensure that our programs run like clockwork so that the healing can happen without any stress. Dynamic. Everyone loves dynamic. We offer financial advisory, psychosocial support, debt rehabilitation and management, as well as change management accompanied with restructuring support. So I get to see how we impact the lives of Botswana across the country. My word would be transformational, because what we do here, it really shifts and moves people.
Welcome back. This is Moving Humanity Forward podcast. We're going to run out of time, so let's get straight back into the conversation. Kgoroba, there's so much I wanted us to touch on. But I think maybe let's start off just taking a look now at the economy. I think this is an issue that comes up again and again. We're currently seeing issues around consumers paying the price basically for us to maintain a foreign reserve. We're seeing stories, I don't know how far true or how much you'll be able to speak to an investor that had backed the current party in power, now being given access to do all sorts of projects in Botswana. Talk to me a little bit about what you think is the best way forward for Botswana as far as our economy is concerned.
Yeah, you see, for any country to prosper, the economy has to be in place. And for the economy to be in place, proper governance structures and institutions must be in place. So we are where we are. Fine, we should have corrected a lot of things many years ago from the 80s and the 90s. We didn't do that. And people from as far back as then used to sing the song, diamonds are not forever. And now the reality has hit us that the diamonds were not going to be here forever. So we didn't diversify our economy. And we need to seriously and quickly diversify our economy. But we still don't have the governance institutions and structures in place. So we are not going to get anything right. I'm going to award direct tenders. A whole president. That is a red flag. That is a serious red flag. It shows, governance is yeah, and if we don't have our governance right, nothing will go right. So if the UDC had promised since 2014, Mogoditshane UDC, within the first 100 days, constitutional reforms. Yeah. And constitutional reforms, these issues of governance and governance institutions. And if this doesn't happen, Botswana must be prepared. We are going to Zimbabwe. We are going to Zimbabwe. That's where we are going. Yeah.
So the first thing that needs to happen is the constitutional review so that governance structures can be put properly into place. That's what you think needs to happen.
Absolutely.
So failing that, any initiative that gets put on the table, you don't see any hope or any future for us.
Without good governance, nothing. Yeah, we must just expect road to Zimbabwe.
So let me ask you this, because we know traditionally we've had each president serving for 2 terms. So you are imagining that by the time His Excellency Honorable Boko is done with his 2 terms, re tla be re le ko Zimbabwe?
Well, we'll be halfway there. Not quite in Zimbabwe yet, but we'll be. But if we continue this way for the next 10 years, by the end of 10 years, we'll be in Zimbabwe.
Do you see him, though, making it through the 2029 elections?
Yes, it's a slim chance. It's 50-50. But let me put it this way. I know it's something that people don't like to hear, and they criticize me for it. If the BCP and the BDP don't form some kind of a pact, UDC will win again in 29. The only thing that can stop the UDC is a BCP-BDP pact. Yeah.
So you've said this before, actually.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so you are currently a member of the Botswana Congress Party.
Yeah.
I want to actually get you to quickly take us through your journey from Alliance for Progressives to BCP, and what makes you think that a joining of forces of BCP and BDP would do the trick. And also speak a little bit to that, because I know a lot of, in fact, I recall a listener calling in and saying, BCP ke le gap. The green outside and red inside. So are you not just now showing us gore that's what is the case?
No. In 2011, especially in 2011, Boko stood up, publicly,
I recall that clip. I do recall that.
Actually, for the white monopoly capital to support Boko's UDC, it was through Khama, because he has a good long-standing relationship with them. So it was through Khama that Boko is in power. So Boko kumpieno bereka le Khama o na le wa go mo ibile a le pele ga mo isa tronko o mo beola seriri. He said that they're working together. Kena matletseng le di sponsora, now he's president. Rona be re kumpieno batho ba tla re we are green outside and red inside. Boko a bereka le Khama ba go te rona re ka kra bereka le Domkrag. It's nonsense. Actually, the people who peddle that ke ma UDC, because the numbers are telling gore BDP, BCP, Harika dirisanya, there'll be trouble. They know that, or they'll be out of power.
So you're saying that that would be the way to go. But my question then comes to, ga batho ba bontshitse BDP gore ga ba batle BDP, ebe lona le BCP la go joina le BDP, what is that? What would your chances be?
that question ya gore batho ga ba batle BDP ya mmakatsa. UDC was voted by 37%. BDP by 31%. Go twa batho ba
So dumela gore Batswana ba santsana ba batla BDP.
31%, there it is. It's the statistics, it's there. UDC isile BDP ka 6%. Yaanong rona ra ke jwa ke ditilo tse di ko parliament or BDP na le 4. No, BDP still has the support. Hey, so
but then in terms of now the initiatives that were in place, and also even the leadership, ke tsala gore le wena o mongwe wa batho ba ileng gore tswa kgakala o kgala boeteledipele ba BDP, what are you now saying? Gore let's join hands and do what?
You see, one thing I respect the Botswana Congress Party for, ke yone governance. Yeah, the governance is solid, and the adherence to constitutional to the constitution is 100%. So
is that why you moved to BCP from AP?
Yes. No, actually, why I moved, Kana 2022, AP joined the BCP.
They joined the BCP.
They were in an alliance with the BCP. And then 2023, they deserted the BCP via UDC. So when they left for the UDC, now I remained with BCP. That's how it happened.
Why?
Yeah. I can never have Boko as my leader. And people think it's personal, and it's not personal. You know, I am one of the people who made Boko. I love.
What do you mean you made him?
You know, to UDC, about to be where it is. People sacrifice resources and time, you know. So I'm one of the people. I'm saying I have a contribution in the growth. UDC to be where it is. I do. Yeah. I'll give you another example. And to brush off this notion or I hate Boko. In 2016, my mother knew Mo party Boko, and it was always Boko this, Boko that. My mother also loved Boko.
Okay.
And she asked me Boko came to my home, that's how much I love this guy. And I don't hate him, I don't dislike him, but I don't like his leadership. That's it. So I said to them,
2029, are you running?
No,
Why?
I'm not running. Look, I stood 2019, 2024 and lost. I mean, if the people reject you, you must accept it. Yeah, I'll play my role, which is the role that I'm playing now, being just the people's advocate. I'm happy with that. But of course, never say never. In politics, Motswaledi o ne a nthuta gore mo politiking o ska ra batho gore wa chase ka gore ka ro sna go rialo e be go nna tshono ya gore o nne tauto ne be ba nya o le wa chase a re le beng. But no, I don't intend to. I don't intend to. Yeah.
Okay, I think that about sums up the majority of the questions that I had. I don't know if there's anything you'd like to say as we close off our conversation, Kgoroba.
Yeah, well, nkara hela kere, you know, Botswana ba utlwile monate wa go change puso. UDC e re solofeditse tse e di solofeditseng. Ga ba di diragatse ebile ga ke dumele gore ba tla di diragatsa. So ka 2029 Botswana ba tshwanetse ba bone gore ba change puso. You see, the good thing about democracy is that Obana BDP ne a sengwa ko gore it overstayed in power. So ga party busa mele sa itumele insane, so that we get to a stage whereby ba re ba tsenya mo puso UDC gona they think they're there forever. Kore excitement ya bone and the recklessness e ba e dirang, they think they're there forever. So
But you know, you keep talking about our democracy, and yet at the same time you acknowledge the power of this white monopoly power that exists, that seems to in a way be driving and influencing our elections. Would you really say that we have a democracy if that's the case? Is it a democracy, or are we just puppets? Do we just have parties with leaders who are puppets, because the real power is that one that you mentioned and taught us about today?
yeah, you know, they don't vote. That white monopoly capital doesn't vote. It just finances. To run a campaign in a political party, especially in opposition, it's very expensive, very difficult.
Yes.
And I'll give you an example why. One of the reasons why BCP and BDP should work together. I'll give you an example of BCP. South of debate, BCP, especially in the south of Gaborone, Lubatseborolo, Kgalagadi, and Kwening, Deepa Kwening, BCP, you know, is very weak there. And BCP believes that, or intends to establish itself in the south. But that requires a lot of resources they don't have, you know, because my activists, they're all starving.
So white monopoly capital doesn't want to back up the BCP?
Ghana white monopoly capital was backing up the UDC because they had they had issues with Masisi. He had issues with them, they had issues with them. So they looked at the opposition. Me, Montako, who can we back up? And because of Khama, he was their close associate. They go to Khama. Khama then, Okokai onale Boko. So it was just through Khama that it happened. But if they do realize that they are not happy with Boko, they might come back and go to the BCP. Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying we do have a democracy because that capital just finances, but it doesn't vote. But in a way, does it not still influence and sway the voter?
How? There's no way it sways the voter. There's no way it sways the voter. I mean, unless or maybe the money sways the voter. But I didn't see UDC having that much money in 24 like they did in 2019. In 2019, they were swimming his main money. Kore booty, hela booty, akolo in night, let's say 200 pula, the booty, you know. So in Masisi blocked some of the money that was supposed to aid them. Though I believe amangona na tsena, you know, yeah. But the other thing is you know, in Africa is prone to rigging of elections. I'm not sure they were rigged in 2024, but you know, you ask yourself, how does a party with 37% get almost 35 seats, and a party with 31% get 4 seats? It defies mathematics. You know, yeah.
So would you say that our last elections were rigged, the ones before 2024?
You know, I believe our elections started being rigged from 2019. I think even in 2019 they were rigged. Yeah, even in 2024. Why are some people there at the top not being fired? When they harass Gomolemo Motswaledi, they harass them. I won't mention their names, but we know them. Why one can even suspect or they have everything to do with the rigging of elections. Because in Masisi happened those positions, running the show. Masisi abatla win. Now Bana Leboko and they screwed up. I mean, they screwed up with a lot of cases, the 100 billion cases, 100 billion Pula case, the butterfly case. It was the same people. They know they hold the biggest secret, and that could be the rigging of elections. Yeah. So that's the unfortunate part.
I keep seeing more questions coming up, but let's close it here. Let's close it here, Kgoroba, and just perhaps close off with sharing with our viewer where they can find you if they want to engage with you in conversation. And also, I want to know what's next for you. You should stand. You're going to advise. What else? Are you going back to football at any point?
No, I'm not going back to football. My football is my granddaughter. That's my main focus. That's my biggest project.
Yeah.
The biggest project that I'm focused on. Nothing else.
Yeah.
And the ambition is not just for her to play at the World Cup. The ambition is for her to be playing at Manchester United, Barcelona, Real Madrid. That's where the ambition is. So I want her to be in Europe playing football. Latest 18 years. So once that is done, I'll be a happy man. That dream I had when I was 14, 15 of playing at the World Cup will be satisfied by my granddaughter playing football in Europe. Yeah. But on another thing, some of the stories that I wrote, Thabo Motswaledi, they're here in my book, The Gut Feeling. It's not a blockbuster, but
where is it available?
No, Mohonna.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not in any store.
Okay, just hold it up so that we can show the listener. It's called The Gut Feeling.
The Gut Feeling.
It's written by Sedirwa Kgoroba.
Yeah.
And so how do they get a hold of you? They find you on social media?
On social media, I'm there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how much does it retail for?
200 pula. Yeah. So the storyteller Gomolemo Motswaledi, the death, the Bobonon thing, the Boko thing, about our Bobonon thing. It's all in here. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Kgoroba. It's been an absolute pleasure having you today.
My pleasure too.
That's how we close off this episode of Moving Humanity Forward podcast. We'd love for you to share, like, as well as subscribe. And you can find us on LinkedIn. You can find us on TikTok as well as on YouTube by typing Moving Humanity Forward podcast. On Facebook, you find us by typing MHF podcast. My name is Cathy Malejane. We'll see you next week.